Hello, I'm Sai, and this is the life and suffering of Sir Brante. As far as I know, this is a choose-your-own-adventure game, sort of, kind of like an RPG. Well, you should see once we get into the game. Let's start a new game. I did a very short run just to see if I would like it. Our name will be Sir Bronto Brante. I mean, that's just a given, right? Choose your name carefully, other characters will address you exactly like this. There will be a lot of reading, so be prepared for that. We can enable chapter restarts just because this is a YouTube thing, you know. And consequences. You will see the consequences of your possible choices in advance. This is the recommended game mode, as you will be able to direct the character's fate in the way you want. You can change this setting at any time in the menu. Or hidden, you will not see the consequences of your possible choices in advance. Choose this option if you want to discover the results of your decision only after you have taken it. I think it's better if we hide it. Yeah, that's more alluring with me. Let's start. You hold the fate of a single man in your hands. You will follow his life from birth to death. Your choices shall define who Sir Brante will grow up to be. You will decide his personality, social status, and what mark he'll leave on history. With every step he takes at your behest, Sir Brante's character will change and evolve. Your decisions will close some doors for him, but open many others. The world of Sir Brante's birth is a ruthless realm, where people are divided into estates. It is hard to be a hero here. Be ready to accept that Sir Brante cannot overcome every challenge in his path. Every hard choice will test his character and personal qualities. Often you will not be able to make the choice you would like to. It may happen because you choose a different road earlier, exhausted your hero's willpower, or haven't earned the right position in society. Every victory will be a struggle, a path paved with bitter losses and gut-wrenching failures. Accept the tragedy. This is how you will create a gripping and unique tale for your hero. What will become of Sir Brante, his loved ones, and his world? It all depends on you.
The story of my life remains written on these pages. But my fate has always been my own. Every deed, every choice, every person I met made me what I am. Could I have taken a different path? Could I have found a different calling? Altered the very course of history? And what price would I have to pay?
At the end of time. Your fingers are stained with ink, your breathing grows ragged, your hands are shaking. Yet the words begin appearing on the page before you one by one, clinging together to form a chronicle of your own life. Who are you? And how did you reach this end? You were born, raised, and lived your entire life in the blessed Arcanian Empire. In this land, a man's destiny is predetermined at the moment of his birth. Whether human or Arcanian, nobleman, priest, or low-born commoner, all bend to the divine will of the twin gods. And each life is naught but a single cog in the universe's immeasurable machine. The memories come flooding back. They engulf you as a merciless wave, binding together days that are thrice dead and gone. The dreams of your childhood, your adolescence, your youth spent in the capital, years of peace teeming with life and a war drenched in blood, high ranks and lowly deeds, opulent palaces, secretive city backstreets, fields of battle and faces, so many faces of the people you held dear, the people who walked this road by your side. Such was your life, now all exposed by ink erupting onto the page. With your every step you sought to change the world as you saw fit. The choices of your upbringing, the path you carved in your youth, the fruits of your struggle, the consequences of your sacrifice, all of it led you here, to the end of your time. And every choice had a price. Now years and years later, the crossroads of your life echo in your memory, the pain and the joy inextricably intermingled. Could you have taken a different path? chosen a different calling, found a different place in the world, you had the power to alter the very course of history. Now, on the verge of death, you struggle with doubt, seeking answer to the last and most crucial question of all your life, of all the paths in life. Why did you walk this one? Did you choose your own fate? Or was your life shaped by forces beyond your control? What determines a man's destiny? Okay, so the difference in the mode where you can see the consequences, I can quickly show you now. Wait, maybe if I... Oh. Anyway, if you enable or disable it, if you can see the consequences, this will have a little pop-up on the side, showing you what ability each option will increase, because you have those as well. Anyway, the man himself. Your life has always been yours to live. You made your own destiny. Your path was charted for you by the people, the age, and the society in which you live, the world around him. Your destiny was forged by a power greater than your own will, a higher power. Or there is no destiny. Destiny does not exist. Human life is an exercise in chance. It is not governed by any laws. If I was younger, I would lean towards this. I think I'm going to choose the man himself. Your life has always been yours to live. You made your own destiny. At the end of time, you can hear death's footstep drawing near. You square your shoulders and take a deep, full breath. You have found your final answer. What is destiny other than a long chain of your own actions and decisions? No matter what happened in your life, you always had a choice. You live the life you deserve. Only you can answer for it. But are you right about this? Is it all true? To learn the truth, you will have to return to the very beginning, remembering every step you took along the way. On these pages, the story of a man named Bronto Brante will live once more. We are going to be born, as you can see here. Chapter 1. Childhood. Childhood, where life begins. First words, first unsteady steps. You are but a small child learning about the world in which you were born. To you, everything is so new, so baffling, and so unforgiving. A long, trying life stretches before you. So many feats and faults, so many fateful choices to come. Yet you are already sowing the seeds of your future self. You are learning to live and survive in this world, looking for a place within it to call your own, choosing your future destiny. Who will you grow up to be? Prologue. Growing up. In chapters Childhood, Adolescence, and Youth, you will live through your hero's coming of age. You will shape the protagonist's personality, his qualities and relationships. By the end of Prologue, you will determine the estate and the future occupation of your hero. Only in adulthood will he start to influence the world around him and even the ultimate fate of the Empire. Who will Bronto Brante grow up to be? It's your call. Events in the personal life of the hero that can happen in this chapter. Fencing lesson. Wait, is it hidden? It is. You dare to study fencing like your father, even though you have no right to it by birth. Beyond. As a small child, you suffer your first death and rebirth. Now this is something weird that we will talk about a bit later. Insight. You experience an insight when your mother tells you about the ways of the world and the lots of its inhabitants. You challenge the sacred order and attempt to seize a noble lot. Your personal qualities at this age, they determine which choices you may take. Determination, your perseverance and strength of character, your ability to get your way, it affects your fame of mind and the skills you have when you grow up, spineless, active, resolute, adamant. Represents how attentive you are to other people and the world around you. Your ability to comprehend and learn. It affects your frame of mind and the skill. Okay, so it's all the same, basically. Inattentive, curious, inquisitive, insightful. Personality. Your inner strength and the number of lesser deaths that you have experienced. See? Lesser deaths. These qualities will stay with you for your entire life. Willpower. Your remaining inner strength and readiness for action. You spend it on difficult choices. Exhausted, ready for action, full of power, prepared for anything. So we start with ready for action. Interesting. After serving a lesser death, one is reborn. One who dies a true death faces the judgment of the twin gods. So this is kind of weird, right? Untouched by death, died once, and then true death at the end. The sections that open in this chapter. Destiny screen is not available. So these are our choices, okay? Personality. Age 0, 0 death. House of Brante. Tarnished honor. Wealth, moderate. And unity, peace. And the heir is Stefan Brante, my brother. Robert's Brante's son from his birth, marriage, and a noble by birth. From a young age, he has been striving to be first in all things and demonstrate his superiority to the family. This is our family. Gregor Brante, grandfather. Dad. Oh, I see. And Lydia. So that's how we are related. So these are my... Stefan is our half brother. True death. Okay. We can take a look at this later. And begin. Birth. At first, there was nothing. No time, no sensation, nothing but darkness and void. But then a will breathed life into nothingness. Matter and spirit were set in motion. History began its march. It was your turn to enter this world. Your first memory. You are lying on your back, blinded by a bright white light. You are not alone. Above you tower the colossal figures of those who created you. You are a part of them, and they are a part of you. Between you and them is an inexplicable connection, a strong, unbreakable link. They will always watch over you, guard you, and protect you. It hurts to breathe. You let out the pain in the form of a desperate scream. Your creators extend their hands toward you. There are two of them, the ones who made you form from their own selves and brought you into this world. They are united, yet as they lean closer, you begin to see how different they are. You can already feel their differences within you, struggling against each other. The first figure is soft and empathetic, wise and merciful. The love that emanates from it wraps your head to toe like an invisible blanket. The warmth from it is never ending. The second figure is strong and powerful, commanding and noble. It is harsh but fair, a beacon of guidance, a force of protection and merciless punishment for every misdeed. Yet there is also a third figure. It is like a shadow barely seen behind them, yet already pulsing with an unbreakable will to live. It is the very will to live that is now growing even ever stronger within you. A soft open palm, a strong closed fist, a lingering distant shadow. You struggle to loosen the swaddling clothes wrapped around you and extend a tiny hand into the world. You grasp the fist of the figures by the finger. You place a tiny hand on the second figure's closed fist. You smile at the figure standing behind them. I will go to mommy. Your little palm awkwardly clasps the soft finger. You explore your mother's hands by touch. She smiles gently as her arms wrap around you and lift you up. She smiles of home, that indescribable smile, that feeling of safety that is second to none. Her embrace is the warmest place in the world, a place you want to stay for all eternity. Perception +1. Year 1118. Your life in this world begins. How will you live it? Childhood. Year 1. Hide and seek. As the days go by, you learn to tell your parents apart. You recognize father by his heavy breath and strong cold hands. He visits you rarely. Hello there, little Bronto Brante. Mother's tender voice, however, follows you day and night. Lydia Brante. My, you're growing so quickly, my child. There are 2 more children in the family named Stefan and Gloria. Gloria sings songs to you. She often dresses you in tight clothing and gently holds your hands as you learn to take your first steps. Stefan likes to sweep you up and pinch you and toss you into the air. Oh, look, this is your brother and sister. Yeah, you're my little brother. We're gonna play together, but I'll always be in charge cause you were born a commoner. Be quiet, Hugh. He doesn't understand yet. Come on, baby Bronto, let's go play in the yard. It is hot outside. You grip your brother's hand with one hand and your sister's with another as they help you walk down the giant stone stairs. Then you sit on the ground and start exploring the sparse blades of grass with your fingers. It tickles. In the sky far above and away from you is a gigantic pillar, a perfectly straight stick made of light. It is so bright, it hurts to look at it. Why are you staring at the shining pillar? It's not going anywhere, you know, says Stefan. Hey, I wanna play hide and seek. He's just a little baby. How's he gonna play? Then you hide him, and I try to find both of you. You have no idea what they are talking about, but you support them with happy cooing. This is strange, but so exciting. Stefan and Gloria glance at each other. Then your brother walks to a big tree, closes his eyes and starts shouting something. Gloria takes your hand and walks you through the yard. Your sister takes you behind some thick bushes by a tall wall. The light from that light stick on the horizon barely reaches here. You can't see home from this place. The ground is crawling with tiny black bugs. Gloria sits you down on the ground and puts a finger to her mouth for some reason. And then she's gone. You can no longer hear Stefan's voice. Gloria is nowhere to be seen. You feel colder. The bugs are no fun to play with. You've been sitting here for a long time, completely alone. Nobody checks on you. Did they forget about you? Did they abandon you? Cry loudly. You start crying, hoping to be found. Find your way home. You get up off the ground and start crawling through the bushes to find your way back home. Sit there and wait. You start playing with leaves and twigs and little bugs. If this was me, I would actually, as a kid, probably just sit there and wait. So let's choose that. The bush is covered with leaves swaying in the wind. You brush through them with your fingers. The twigs and branches are stiff and will not bend. They are different from the blades of grass. Down on the ground you see a group of bugs carrying a little twig. You grab it from them. They're so funny. One of the bugs crawls on your finger and bites it, just enough to sting a little. You hear brisk steps, then the leaves and twigs rustling and parting. Your mother leans over you. You greet her with a happy face and show her the finger with the bug on it. So that's where they took you? Mother picks you up, puts you to her chest and pats you on the head. Your brother and sister stand behind her, clearly feeling guilty. Gloria is in tears. Stefan keeps staring at his feet. You hug Mother tightly. She's here now. Perception +1. We are curious now. And about this is the point up until I played and decided to do a recording. I just read these next 2 pages maybe. The Great Descent. Another memory. You are still a little child, but you can already talk and run around on your own. Today is out of the ordinary. Father is busy around the house giving orders to the servants. Throughout the day the kitchen has been abuzz with work and there are solemn gloomy preparations and candles being lit. Even your older brother Stefan is quiet today. Mother takes your hand and brings you to your sister Gloria. My son, today is the Great Descent. We honor the day when the twin gods descended to us. We must spend this day in reverence to the gods. You are too young to understand, so just do everything your sister says for now. Gloria takes you to the playroom. There are no toys there, no chairs, even the carpet has been taken away. There is nothing there but a bare wooden floor. But this is creepy. Today we are not allowed to go to any other rooms, and will be eating nothing but gruel and stale bread. On the day of the Great Descent, everyone must be where they belong. It is quiet, unusually so. Muffled voices from beyond the door are all you can hear. You are sitting on the cold floor, confused, with no idea what to do. Then you hear your sister's voice, a lonely sound in the empty room. It is a little song that Mother taught her. You hold your breath as you listen to it. When the twins came down to earth, they brought lots for every birth. Let us count them 1, 2, 3. The twins made them for you and me. They brought lots for every birth. Let us count them. Nobles rule and bravely fight. They protect us with their might. Priests work hard to understand. Guide us by the twins' commands. Common people work and toil. Always patient, never spoiled. Live your lot where you were born, to the day when you pass on. Know your lot and know the prayer, for the twins see everywhere. Okay, sorry that I changed the tone of it. I would rather not sing. You are transfixed by the tune. Gloria notices your gaze and a smile creeps across her face. You like the rhyme, don't you, Bronto? Do you know what it's all about? Look, there are 3 lots. They were brought to us by the twins when they descended to us from the shining pillar. Remember that pillar of light on the horizon? That's it. You can see the shining pillar anytime from anywhere in the world. If you follow your lot as you live, you'll reach the peak of the pillar, and if you don't, you'll get eternal torment at the foot. You and I are lowborn. Mom is a commoner too. So the lot for you and me is to suffer and be patient and work hard, understand? The priests and the nobles have other lots. The nobles fight and rule over everybody. The priests, well, I'm not really sure what they do, but I guess they talk to the twins and then teach everybody. Gloria stares at you intently. Did you get it, silly? Then she shakes her head and keeps singing the song over and over again. Her voice transfixes you, drawing you in. The room starts to glow like the sky. From this light emerge 2 figures you have known ever since the moment of your birth. One of them embraces your sister's shoulder. The other stands guard behind her back. You watch this happening before your very eyes, unable to turn away. Gloria is swaying to the song, unaware of what is happening. She sings the final verses once more. Know your lot and know the prayer. You feel compelled by this divine sight to express yourself somehow. You feel words condensing within you from the light. But what will these words be? You join your sister and finish the song the same way you heard it. Sing the last line wrong. You shout words of your own instead of the last line of the song. Yes. Know your lot and know the prayer. The lots are lies told everywhere. You shout these words, but you have no idea how they came to you. The shining pair standing behind her back turn to look at you. You can feel their gaze piercing you from top to bottom. When the moment passes, they melt into the dim light coming from the window. Now Gloria is staring at you. You see disappointment in her eyes. Bronto, that's not the way the song ends. Why did you ruin it? You shrug, quite pleased with your cleverness. Determination +1. Spineless still, okay. Oh, we are 3 years old now? Spring, the origin. You are starting to understand more and more of what the adults say. Your family is an unusual one. Your father is a nobleman, but not by birth. His is a title earned through great service, but your mother is a low-born woman, a commoner. Because of this, you were born a commoner, but father says you may yet come unto nobility. You learn to read at an early age. Together with mother, you read and learn by heart the many poems about divine twins, the twin gods who reside upon the shining pillar. Mother calls these poems prayers. Again and again you try to discern the shapes of the gods in the strip of holy light that shines in the sky all day and night, but the light is too blinding to gaze upon. The greatest joy of all is when the stairs are no longer an insurmountable obstacle. Now you can climb and even jump from step to step. Father urges you to be more careful and avoid climbing too high. But even though you keep falling, you never stop being curious about the world around you. Your older brother, Stefan, now spends less and less time playing with Gloria and you. Playing with commoners is beneath a nobleman to be, he says. So Gloria calls him names and Stefan pulls her pigtails. One fine evening, Father gathers you all in the sitting room with an announcement. You will have another little brother or sister soon. Gloria asks him to bring home a little sister. Another brother would be too much. Stefan gets frustrated. There are too many little siblings getting in his way as it is. Soon you will be an older brother too, and it doesn't really matter who the youngest will be. A boy or a girl, you will love them the most. When Father comes back from his trips, he reads his adult books aloud for you. You find those stories of wars, generals, and rebellions quite enchanting, and Father approves of your fascination. Study hard, and maybe one day you'll become a noble of the mantle and earn your sword. But first, you need to grow up. Growing up, the concept is as terrifying as it is alluring. The lot of suffering. You keep staring at the carpet under your feet. You are both ashamed and proud, and it feels odd. A scratch on your hand stings a little. Stefan is standing next to you, sniffing from pain. Your brother was training in the yard with a wooden sword. You wanted to play with him, but he ended up getting angry and throwing the sword at you. The stick hit you in the shoulder. You picked it up and hit him with it. You see Mother's shoes walking to and fro on the carpet. You do not want to look up. You would rather not see her angry. She's not as gentle to you these days. Why did you hurt Stefan, Bronto? You stammer out an explanation. He hit you first. You just hit him back. How dare he pester me like that? When I grow up, I'm gonna hit you with a real sword. Mother shushes you both and speaks to you again. Her voice is stern, and yet you can still feel her concern for you. Even if Stefan hits you, you cannot hit him back. You are my son, and I was born a commoner. Our lot is to suffer. But your brother was born from a noble father and a noble mother. His sacrament is coming soon, and then he'll rule over the likes of us. If you hurt a noble, you must be punished. That is your lot. And the sooner you learn it, the better off our entire family will be. Now Stefan looks at you in triumph. You look up at Mother in fear, not sure what to do now. This got unlocked. I see. If our willpower is low. You accept your guilt and tell Mother you are ready to be punished. You contend to insist that you are not guilty and will not be punished no matter what. You demand that Mother explain why things are like this. If I was hurt as a child, and then I threw back the thing, and hurt them. There was actually a scenario like this when I did that to my cousin, but by accident. I didn't want her to get hurt. Like with a snowball that was too icy. And then I accepted, well, not punishment, but you know, I felt the guilt. So, I will demand an explanation. You start asking questions. Why were you born a commoner if your father is a noble? If you have your father's name, why can't you have his lot? And why can't you choose a lot for yourself if you don't like the one you have? Mother is stunned by all these questions you are prepping her with. Don't you dare ask me about that, Bronto. I'll violate my lot if I start explaining it all to you. I'm a commoner, not a priest. Oh, this is getting harsher. You are flogged in front of your entire family. The pain burns on your skin again and again. Tears keep rolling down your cheeks. It feels like the punishment will never end. It hurts to walk when you are finally let go. You slowly climb the stairs and walk to your room. You see a book on your bed, The Teachings of Isatius, Volume 2. Your tears have dried now. You begin to read, slowly making your way through the difficult words. Every death of the body bringeth the soul ever closer to the twin's judgment, and when the body dieth through death, the soul soareth to the shining pillar. The twin gods do judge every soul, and their judgment is stern and unforgiving. He who followed his lot in life from birth shall melt in bliss atop the peak of the shining pillar. The words confuse and elude you, instilling fear and awe. You will read this mysterious book again and again as you grow up. Yeah, there we go. More perception for us. Gloria's rhymes. Mother mostly stays in her chambers now. With each passing day, she grows heavier and her features get rounder. It gets difficult for her to walk, but she still smiles all the time. One day she takes your hand and puts them on her big belly, and you feel a movement deep inside her. You will have another brother or sister soon. Gloria takes you on walks to the yard now. You explore the yard together under the evening light of the pillar, and she sings you songs and tells you amazing stories. Hey Bronto, do you want to hear a rhyme? I wrote it myself. There's even a bit about you, but don't tell anyone, okay? Writing poems and songs is only for nobles. If Mommy hears about it, I'll get flogged. Remember how you got flogged for hitting Stefan? Our judge is my second father. In the past I had another. Mother says the twins are great, says we should not fight our fate. Brother loves to jump around, please don't fall down on the ground. See, I wrote a little rhyme, please don't tell them it is mine. But today your sister is nowhere to be seen. She promised to take you to the old pond and show you the red frogs that live there. But then she vanished. The servants join you in your search. Even Mother leaves her chambers when she hears the commotion. Finally you find Gloria in the far corner of the garden. She is holding a quill and sheets of paper covered in poetry. Mother becomes angry the moment she sees it. She looks through the poetry, and her face grows dark with rage. Gloria is standing before her, wringing her hands and looking for an opportunity to run, but there seems to be no escape. What is this nonsense, Gloria? We talked about this. You were told to take care of your little brother. You are absolutely not allowed to entertain yourself with this writing. I can decide that for myself, Mom. No, you cannot. It has already been decided by the gods. And he's not a little brother anymore. He doesn't need a nanny, and I need some time alone to think for myself. I'm not hurting anyone. You are a commoner and a future wife. It's time you learned how to properly care for children. Had your disgraceful former father kept me in his house, you could have been born a noble. But that is not our fate, and you are absolutely forbidden from ever spoiling paper and wasting ink again. Mother grabs Gloria firmly by the hand and takes you both into the house. The scribbled sheets fly into the fireplace. Gloria sobs violently. You are a bystander to the scene, unsure of how to act. We have this locked. You complain to Mother about how Gloria often leaves you alone. No, why would I? When nobody can hear you, you offer to write poems with Gloria, or comfort her. You comfort Gloria and say that Mother is wrong, or just leave. I will be rebellious and offer to write rhymes with her. Mother leaves. The last of your sister's poetry burns away in the fireplace. You hug your sister and whisper to her. Let's go to the library, you say. The two of you can hide under the table and write something together. Gloria shakes her head violently. Mother said no, and there is no way she would ever defy her. You reassure her that it will be your secret. You pull Gloria to the library. She fights you, but you refuse to relent. You carefully peek inside. Your sister takes a small book from one of the shelves, and you read it together under the table. It's a book of poetry about eternal love. Gloria clearly adores it. You decide to write a poem of your own. She recites a line in an ecstatic voice, and you repeat it after her and offer a rhyme of your own. She nods happily. You do this until the day ends. You have written a poem of your own and learned it by heart, but not a single line of it has been committed to paper, which means that you stay true to your mother's rule. Oh, that's smart. +1. Actually, what if they didn't write on paper, but carved it in wood or something? I mean, I guess technically it's the same, since paper is wood. Okay, never mind. Mother is in her armchair, knitting woolen jackets, pants and socks for the little one. The baby will need to be kept warm, she says. Father spends less time at home now. Mother says he's very busy with his important job. He is a judge, after all. One day you decide to ask Mother about Stefan and Gloria. How come they're brother and sister to you, but not siblings to each other? Well, my dear, I didn't give birth to Stefan, you see. He's the son of another mother, and Gloria is the daughter of another father. Come now, don't knit your brow like that. You'll understand when you're older. How is that even possible? You're all family, are you not? Several days later, Mother calls Stefan and Gloria to the sitting room. You sneak in after them. At first, Mother gets angry and asks you to leave, but then she relents. You are told to sit still, be quiet, and remember every word you hear. When you enter the temple, bow to the twins, first to the elder on the right, and then to the younger on the left. Stefan, you are a nobleman to be, so walk along the side paved with marble, where the benches are. Gloria, you walk along the sharp side. When you're there, you must get down on your knees, each on your own side. Stefan, kiss the sword. Gloria, my daughter, they will strike you with the lash. Don't be afraid of it. Resign yourself to the suffering it brings. It is the blessing of your lot. Gloria doesn't like the idea of the lash. There's a tense feeling in your chest as well. You were told to remember this. Will the lash strike you too one day? On the next day, they take your brother and sister to the temple. You run towards them when they finally come back. The back of Gloria's dress is soaked with blood. She is hunched a bit, sobbing quietly. Stefan is putting on airs, acting prouder than ever. Nothing else looks different about them. It's like all is the same, and yet everything has changed. Each of them has accepted their lot. Okay, -1 relations. So now he's indifferent. Less unity in the family, okay. Brother and sister sacrament, year 1122. Your siblings Stefan and Gloria took their first sacrament at the temple. The newborns cry. You eye the little bundle in your father's arms with curiosity. Behind the many layers of swaddling clothes is your newborn baby brother. Mother is glowing and smiling with joy. Stefan and Gloria are also here, all excited. You promise yourself you're going to be the best big brother in the world. You'll never hit him. Oh no, the two of you will play together and tease Stefan together and help Mother together and go on so many adventures together. It feels so strange to be an older brother. Just the other day you were the youngest in the family, but everything is different now. Your parents name your little brother Nathan, and Mother spends day and night by his side. And Nathan cries all the time, day and night. Mother barely gets any sleep. She's so worn out she starts forgetting things. Like today, for instance. She forgot her knitting in the armchair in the sitting room. You'd better bring it back to her as soon as possible. You run to Mother's bedroom. You miss her smile so much. You walk in without saying hello and give her the knitting, but instead of gratitude, you get an ice-cold, exhausted stare. Nathan is also there, screaming all the time. Go away, Bronto, you're bothering me. She spits these words out through her teeth. You look at the bawling newborn. She can't even get a minute of respite. Enough already. When are you going to stop? I just want some peace and quiet. Mother leaps across the room and starts shaking Nathan with malice in her eyes. His cries get even louder. What the? She looks so tired from his never-ending screams. She seems to be within an inch of smashing him against the wall. Somebody has to do something. You are scared of your mothers right now, but you fear for Nathan's life much more. Willpower. Hug mother. Call father for help. You run to father's study as fast as you can and ask him to calm her down. You try your best to bring her back to her senses. This is redirect her anger to yourself. Snatch Nathan from mother. You take Nathan from mother and run away. I did that. You leap at your mother and demand she give you Nathan. She freezes when she hears the words. You snatch your little brother out of her arms. She chokes with rage and falls on the bed screaming. You run away to the playroom. Your baby brother is heavy in your arms. He sniffles. You sway him gently like mother did and quietly sing him a lullaby about the twins. Nathan calms down. Soon he closes his eyes. You put the newborn on your bed and swear on your life that no one will ever hurt him when you're around. You hear heavy footsteps in the hallway. Father enters the playroom. He looks at you, then at Nathan, somewhat confused. You did something bigger than you today, son. It is a noble deed to protect your family, but you should have come to me. Please understand, this was my duty, not yours. You saved your baby brother from harm. If you feel yourself ready to take the responsibility to protect others, then maybe you can walk the path of the noble when you're older. But for now, we should bring him back to your mother. Come with me. He picks Nathan up. Your brother is fast asleep, breathing quietly. The three of you return to mother's bedroom. Father puts Nathan back in the crib. Mother is no longer screaming. She embraces you. Please, forgive me. The twins know I was out of my mind. Please don't be angry with me. You hug mother in response. Grateful. Oh, my brother is grateful. Oh, this is okay. So +2 relationships. And he is grateful. The youngest child in the family and your only full sibling, an odd child. He has been secretive and aloof since he was a little boy. He is inept, constantly ill and crying, always in need of care and protection. He started reading sacred texts at a very young age. So he will be a priest or something? Oh, what's this? Oh, okay. Willpower -5, why? Oh, so this is like a special thing. Okay, I see. So willpower is not like a constant stat. It's if we have to take action, then we can use this. I see. Nathan's birth. What was he was born already? That's weird. You are 5 years old now. The Ant Farm. This event is a consequence of your previous actions. I guess when we played with the ants. The Ant Farm. Your younger brother Nathan is growing. Mother spends more time with the rest of the family now. You help her and play with your brother and take care of him when she asks. You often go to mother's room to sit at the foot of her bed after Nathan falls asleep. She reads you the sacred books and asks you about the things you learned that day. During these moments, you see the world through her eyes as well. One day, the door of your room opens and she brings in a large box covered with a piece of cloth. It is rare for you to see her so overjoyed. She sets the box on the floor and removes the cloth. The box under the cloth is made of glass and has a wooden base. Inside you see a layer of earth shaped into carefully crafted passages, and these passages are full of hard-working ants. Bronto, this is my gift to you, an ant farm. It's a little bird in a small box. We can watch them through the glass. Look, this is the queen ant. She is the reason all these little ants were born. You sit by the box together. You hold your breath as you watch the ant colony at work. This turns out to be a method to the ants' chaotic movements. Every single one of them has a task to perform. Some of them have larger mandibles. They are the protectors of the colony. They can draw blood from your finger. Others work all around the colony, repairing the walls and clearing any debris from the passages. There are also workers who collect food you put in a special tray, leaves, bits of meat, maggots, and bring it to the rest of the colony. You take a worker ant and put it right next to the food. However, the insect has no interest in it. It starts circling around the tray aimlessly. Mother takes the stray ant and puts it back where it belongs. Why did you do that, my son? The ants cannot do what they were born to do. Each of them was born for their own job. Oh, see the parallels? You shake your head slowly. If only the ants could do whatever you wanted them to. This is your gift now, so they belong to you. Or maybe Mother's presence is the reason they won't obey you. I actually played a lot with ants when I was a kid. You ask Mother to leave you alone. You move away from Mother and pull the glass box toward yourself. She looks at you in surprise, but she gave it to you. It'd be easier to learn about the ants on your own. Mother sighs and stands back up. Very well, I understand. You want to find your own answers. You've grown up so quickly, my son. The door creaks quietly as it closes, and you are left to your own devices. You spend a long time watching the ants at work, and then you decide to go outside and find them some bugs to feed on. Once your haul is in the tray, you note which bugs they drag away and which they leave untouched. Day after day, you keep the tray full of food, provide the insects with plenty of water, and remove dead ants from the farm. Your tiny subjects still refuse to change their peculiar ways. It is just as Mother said. The ant farm is exactly like the world we live in. The ants will never know that you are there. -1 unity. Uh-oh. But +1 perception. Insight. Event has happened. You experience an insight when your mother tells you about the ways of the world and the lots of its inhabitants. Toy soldiers. You wake up to Father's touch on your shoulder. He's finally back home after a long trip. Bronto, today is your special day, the day when you begin your studies. Now teachers will be coming to our home to teach you, and you must do everything they say. Be diligent in your studies, and you will grow closer to the nobleman's lot. And since you must remember this day, a present is in order. Lydia, get our little schoolboy dressed. I'm taking him to the market district. Stefan wants to come with you too, but Father shushes him sternly. This is your day. Your elder brother is hurt to hear this, but stays quiet. An open carriage takes the two of you through the dusty, noisy city streets, a pleasant wind tussling your hair. Your city is called Anizote. That you already know. It is one of the largest cities in the entire empire. There is a big shadow on the street. It comes from the white foliage of an enormous tree that spreads its branches all above the city. My son, did you know that the silver tree grew from the blood of our God's own disciples? It has been growing here for hundreds of years, right in our city. It cannot be damaged or burned, not even the clergy know why. The carriage comes to a halt by a small shop next to a city square. You run there and freeze by the stalls in excitement. The shop is packed with dolls and figurines and toys. You've never seen so many at once before. Have you chosen your present yet? Father asked. You have. You won the Holy Order set, which includes several figurines of the Empire's greatest warriors of all time. You rattle off everything you know about the Holy Order. They were the ones who aided the Emperor's own forces in seizing the province of Magra and storming our city. That's how we joined the Empire. Father nods in approval. Very well. War isn't your lot for now, but maybe these toy soldiers will teach you to think like a general. We will lead them into battle and study military strategy. Go ahead, take your present. Having said this, Father turns away to examine the books. You run to the box of toy soldiers, delirious with excitement. But there is a fancy-dressed boy in your way. He's about to take your warriors for himself. He elbows you aside and reaches for the box. Anger overcomes you and you push him from behind. Your opponent falls to the floor. The rich boy screams so loudly everybody in the shop hears it. He hit me! He hit me! A tall tower of a man looms over you. This is the boy's father. But then you feel your own father's hands on your shoulders. What happened? You press against father, your mind more at ease now. He will protect you. Yes, you shoved the boy to the floor in front of everyone, but he tried to take your present for himself. Father turns you around to face him when he hears these words. Is this true, Bronto? Did you strike the son of a nobleman? I can't admit it. Oh no, because we used our willpower. Should I lie? As a kid I would have lied. I think. Yeah, I will deny my guilt. You hide behind father and deny all wrongdoing. The boy was too clumsy. Now the two fathers come to face. The father is calm, while the enraged nobleman pelts him with insults and reaches for his sword again and again. The insults do not stop. In the end, the nobleman challenges father to a duel. There is only one way to protect the family honor. Father grudgingly accepts the challenge. Oh my god, what have I done? Whoops. They bring him home much later, with a fresh wound in his side and another on his shoulder. You spend the entire day by his bedside doing whatever he says, overcome with a mixture of shame, guilt, and gratitude. Even though father rarely shows it, he would readily risk everything for his family. Oh, I really feel bad about that choice. When father's wound heals, he brings you the belated present, a little box full of soldiers, the Holy Order made of tin. You line the warriors up in battle formation. Only one thought on your mind. Your family is always by your side. We get +10 willpower, good, so we can possibly do another action. Six years. Summer, the family dinner. Today father ordered the dinner table to be brought out into the yard. For the first time in months, his home outside of the confines of his always locked study. He spent the entire day playing with Nathan and you, discussing various matters with Stefan, now an adolescent, and walking in the garden, and now a dinner under the open sky. Your entire family gathers together, with father at the head of the table smiling. He asks each of you about your studies. Nathan climbs up on his knee and recites a counting rhyme in a funny, sing-song voice. Stefan mentions that his fencing teacher praised his accomplishments. He rises from the table together with father to show his skill in a practice duel. Next comes Gloria's turn. She stands on her chair and recites a lengthy prayer by heart. Mother showers your sister with praise. Father chuckles quietly, hiding a smile in his mustache. When your turn comes, you recite all the ranks in the Legion, from common soldier to high commander. Stefan listens to you with a skeptical look on his face. Night slowly falls, but the servants ensure that the yard is well illuminated. You don't feel cold in the dusk tonight. It feels good yet so important. All of you are finally together, sitting at the same table. No fighting, just smiles. No arguing, just pleasant small talk. Then a servant approaches father with a letter in his hand. He reads it in the dim light, and each line gradually washes the smile off father's face until only a stone-cold mask remains. Mother looks at father with an unspoken question in her eyes. Gregor Brante is coming back to Anisote. He is the head of our family. My father. Is this something like from Game of Thrones? What is this? Your grandfather Gregor Brante returned to the family home from the capital. I actually thought he was dead. But it's not on the family tree. Alright, so that's the death icon. Interesting. And notice how there is other page here. Oh, so these are all the things that we could learn from our childhood. I get it. Interesting. The fencing lesson, we could die, and the nobleman's sacrament. How do I actually... oh. Ever since the news of grandfather's impending arrival, there has not been a single day when the house has not been cleaned or decorated. Your parents anxiously make sure everything is in order. They tell you to wash your face and hands after walks and scold you for leaving books on the floor. They tell Gloria she will be flogged if she is ever seen hiding in the attic. They make Stefan stay in his room. Even baby Nathan gets in trouble. Everyone is on edge. Then one day, grandfather arrives. It is a grim day, so hot your neck is sticky with sweat. Father, Mother, Stefan, Gloria, you and Nathan, the entire Brante family stands on the porch in front of the house. The house servants lined up behind you. The carriage arrives, and out steps a tall, gaunt old man with a heavy walking stick and a heavier gaze. You cringe instinctively. Good health to you, father. Children, greet your grandfather as you have been taught. Still trying to look like a real nobleman, are you? You can't fool me, Robert. I was the first of the Brante family to be ennobled by the mantle, and I am the only one who remembers how to bear this burden properly. I live honorably by my lot. Your marriage to that low-born branch cut us off from ever becoming nobles of the sword. My progeny could have been born bearing noble blood. Father, I beg you, this is not the place. Grandfather eyes him with scorn and walks into the house, the entire family following close behind him. I have been away far too long. The entire house is a mess. This is an insult. How can you live in such a pigsty, Robert? The servants have grown far too lazy, all thanks to your commoner of a wife. I warned you, did I not? And yet you did as you saw fit. And the children, what do they know of tradition or honor? They are being raised in a virtuous family, father. And now you are speaking like a lowborn who's content to live in humility. Twins willing, now that I am here, this will not happen again. I am taking your oldest son to the capital. I see you cannot provide Stefan with a proper education, so I will correct your mistake. Your brother's fate has been decided just like that. Father does not object. He orders the servants to prepare Stefan for the journey. Stefan freezes in place, glancing at grandfather and father again and again. The latter puts a hand on his shoulder, reassuringly. Grandfather's lips are a tight line, white with contempt. The house is examined, room after room. Everything grandfather sees is showered with scorn. He scoffs at a crease on a blanket in Nathan's crib in mother's bedroom. He mocks Gloria's knitting in her room. The door to your room is next. What is this, Robert? Tin soldiers in your younger son's room? He was born a commoner. I won't have him daydreaming of battle. Grandfather seizes the box containing the tin warriors of the Holy Order. Your father stays silent. Anger and fear boil within you. This is your big present from the first day of your studies. It means so much to you. But what if he's right? What if you need to prove you're right to commend the toy soldiers first? Grandfather shakes his head in disapproval and shoves the toy box into the roaring fireplace. What? If you wait too long, they will melt in the flames. Okay, so they are not. Oh. Well, we are not determined enough. Watch them melt helplessly. Grandfather is right. These toys are nothing but a distraction from your studies. You rescue the precious presents from the fire no matter how much your hands hurt. We can't do that. You start crying, overwhelmed by the horrible sight. Strike grandfather. Driven mad by anger and injustice, you kick grandfather in the leg. What would I do as a kid if someone messes with my most precious toys? I would either cry or I would strike them. I strike grandfather. Overwhelmed by helpless rage, you run to grandfather and kick him in the leg with all the strength you can muster. Yet, he is immovable. The next thing you see is him leaning, towering over you menacingly, his heavy walking stick in hand. Low-born scum, how dare you raise a hand to me? The blow hits home. The handle of the walking stick is as heavy as a rock. You are dazed, robbed of both hearing and sight. Then comes another blow. A sharp pain splits your head. Then darkness. This... I almost say the really bad word. This asshole, I think, just killed us. Your hand twitches against your will. Then again and again. Like it is trying to catch a flying butterfly. And then you fall into the primordial void. The void takes away a part of you. One of the lives you were given to live. It will never return. There is no pain. There is pain and desperation and a sense of loss. Nothing can be done now. First death. You fall into a pain that embraces you like a soft feather bed. You feel light, free. There are no restraints, just a warm glow that envelops you in its secure embrace. The waves carry you, their touch is soft, they delicately enshroud what was once your body. It is a feeling unlike anything you have ever experienced before, something absolute and complete. You touch something greater, the reason behind everything, the reason for your very existence. You were sculpted from this light. It was the first thing you ever felt, a boundless and sincere unity of the diverse. Your beginning was a spark that cast this light in all directions, and now you are here again, one with the beginning of everything. The light gleaming from you resembles the light of the shining pillar. You still see it, in the north, as always. The waves of life carry you to two figures. The elder is nearest, he is ready to accept you. He is quiet, wise, kind, and pure. The younger waits further back. You do not know what he is yet. The waves pause at the elder's feet. He leans over you and plants a feather-light kiss on your forehead. The kiss spreads all over you. You are filled with unparalleled delight and bliss. You exist. You are unique. There is no one else like you. They know this, and they love you. You will never be alone. You are a part of them, a part of your family, a part of this universe. The twin gods will never leave you. They watch over you constantly. The elder softly touches you as you lie spread out amongst the waves, sending you further down the torrent of light. You float on to the top of the silver tree's spreading crown. The closer you get to the silver tree, the heavier you become. The waves throw you down along its trunk, but you do not wish to part with the warmth and the softness, with the love. You turn around. The elder is still watching you. He nods. All is as it should be. Go. Your time has not come yet. You must return to the world. As you tumble down toward your body, you comprehend the true meaning of your lesser death and the divine love that has been revealed to you. Love exists not only in the hereafter, it is present in the entire design of the twins that is the origin of all life in this world. What is the manifestation of this love in your mortal life? Empire. By creating the Empire, the twin gods cared for all living creatures. The Empire is the only thing that gives us a place in the world and a connection to others. It is an enormous family made for people by the gods. Lot. The gods give you a clear mission in this world, thus gifting you your very being. This is the manifestation of their love for you, for all living things. Family. Love always loves in kindred blood. You share the miracle of life and the universe with your kin. Your family is what you are given upon being born and what you leave behind when you depart. Cause. The love the gods have for you is so great that they allow you to change the world they have created. So influence it with your deeds. Whatever your mission is, it is a proof of the twin gods' love for you, yourself. What could be a stronger manifestation of love than your very existence? Your every emotion, every thought, every action exists by virtue of the love from which the twin gods created you. You do not find the answer you seek. I think I would choose some of these. I should be silent, maybe. On the other hand, maybe the cause. I'm gravitating towards this. Yeah, sure. A sudden comprehension of the love with which the entire world is imbued illuminates your mind, but then it fades away and vanishes. You regain the sensation of your flesh. It is heavy and unwieldy. It lacks that lightness, that light. It is a burden. It is smothering you. You gasp for air, your chest expands painfully. You feel as though your lungs are about to burst. The stagnant odor of the crypt fills them, revolting but so real. You are back. Then you smell a sickly, moist smell. You feel dampness all around you. You come back to your senses in the gloom of the family crypt, lying flat on a stone slab. Your parents are on their way to the crypt right now. You hear their muffled voices. They are arguing, and against all rules, mother will not agree with father. Why would Sir Gregor do this? He just took one of our child's lives. Lydia, my father is our family's head, and the boy raised a hand to him. There was nothing we could do, and father did admit that he was too hard on him. Please do not anger Sir Gregor. You need to accept this. It will never happen to any of our children ever again. Their voices grow quiet as they lean over you. You lean on your elbows to try and get up from the stone. Mother gingerly wraps her cloak. Is it gingerly? I don't know this word. Mother gingerly wraps her cloak over your naked body as you shiver from the cold. My son, your first death came far too soon. I know it may be difficult to realize what happened, but know this, the twin gods are ever merciful. You are a child, and your time to live for the hereafter has not come yet. You will be returned here by the gods twice more, but do not tempt fate again, and never ever defy those who can easily take your life. Bronto, you have angered your grandfather greatly. Do not stand in Sir Gregor's way ever again, and he will never hurt you again. For now, just stay away from him. Father stays a step away from you, not saying a word. When mother finishes talking, he picks you up and carries you outside. Together, your parents take you from the family crypt. On your way out of the crypt, you take a moment to touch your head. It is perfectly fine. There is no sign of the blow. Back home, grandfather is still walking through the house, examining the rooms. You can see that Stefan and Gloria are disturbed by what just happened. Nathan starts crying when he sees you. The playroom still reeks of burnt paint. Okay, asshole. -2. the head of the Brante family and a nobleman of the mantle, a senior judge at the Anisot prefecture. He was the first person in the family to get an education and achieve a noble title. His dream is to see his family ennobled by the sword. A cruel and fierce defender of the ancient order, he is constantly preoccupied with arranging the future of his family line. There is something new about you now, a pitch black stripe on your left arm. It looks like a strange bit of dirt at first, but it will not wash off. It will be like that forever, Mother explains. That is all she will say of it. There is something new about... oh. It's just this. Okay. Finally, more determined. We still need one more, I think. Oh no, we still need two more to be in the next stage. And died once. Beyond. Event has happened. As a small child, you suffered your first death and rebirth. Fall. The master of the house. Soon grandfather leaves. Your elder brother Stefan goes with him. From that day on, father's higher teachers tend to you alone. They bore you with monotonous lectures on writing, counting, and the way of life in the blessed Arcanian Empire. You often distract yourself from their instruction by playing with your younger brother Nathan. Your home grows quiet without your elder brother. Too quiet. Weeks later, your family receives a letter from Stefan. Grandfather has sent him to a boarding school for nobles, and he is now studying hard in preparation for his service as a nobleman. The rules here are way too strict. You can't even sneeze without the teacher's permission. But I've been studying with my peers. We're learning how to live as nobles in a noble society. We're also learning the art of swordplay. That's my favorite part. With Stefan now at the boarding school, grandfather arrives once more, this time to live in your home. The only good thing is that he often has urgent business in Aeterne, the capital of the empire, and has to travel there. One day you ask mother where he lived before. In Aeterne, she says, but now his place is here. Each time grandfather returns, he gives the servants new orders. Your home is now always busy with repairs. The servants are decorating grandfather's chambers, including his library and sitting room. Sometimes father tries to gently talk him out of this. Why subject the house to constant reconstruction? Grandfather's answer is always the same. This home is mine, and I will live here as befits a man of the nobility. Alright. I think this is a good place to stop. Can I see how old I am? This is still chapter 1. Yeah. I think I probably will play this a little more. It's intriguing. I'm interested to learn what these do. I would have to say I'm invested in the story. I kind of like it. There's also quite a lot of similarities to my own, which is kind of eerie in a way. Of course, in a different period with fantasy and all that, but still. I think... Are you sure you want to quit? Your game will be saved. Okay, you will be able to content from the last scene. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I think we will pick it up from here in the next episode. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you there. Bye bye.